Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And y'all know I love me a good experiment here on my channel. I was watching a Saweetie's beauty secret video. I'm pretty sure it was Sweetie. Was it? Yeah, I was watching a couple, but I'm pretty sure it was Sweetie. And she was doing her makeup and she got to the beauty blender and she said, you know, I don't even wet this thing anymore because I feel like when I do, it gets patchy, it does this, does that. So I thought about it and I was like, you know, I don't think I wet a sponge when I use it in my makeup routine either anymore. I'm a brush girl. I do a majority of my face with brushes. I do use a sponge to apply powder and then to give myself like a little extra blend after using a brush, especially for foundation and concealer. But when I do that, it's not wet. And then I went to Twitter and I was like, are you supposed to wet your brush or can you use it dry? And majority of the people said you have to use it wet. So here I am in this video. I'm going to test out one side of my face with a wet sponge and the other side with a dry sponge to see if it really makes a difference. I mean, I'm going to continue using brushes, but for the times that I do use a sponge in my routine, do I have to wet it? I do have two sponges here, like brand new, and I wanted them to be from the same brand so that I can have some type of like, you know, controlled variable in this experiment. So these are from Midas Cosmetics. I'm going to, let me go. Oh, wait, are they the same? Oh wait, actually we switched sponges because one had a flat end and I want two, like same sponge, no differences, so no one can say anything. So I'm gonna go wet the one that I have to wet and I'm gonna start doing my face. Okay, since green is my favorite color and I prefer a dry sponge, this is going to be the dry side sponge, and this pink marble one is going to be the wet side. This is the difference between the two sponges when you wet one and when you don't wet the other. Now keep in mind for the people who do wet your sponge, like it should just be damp, okay? It shouldn't be like leaking water out of it. You guys just saw me take these out of the packaging, so I've never even tried Midas sponges. I don't know if I like the sponge in general, but YOLO, we're here, we're in this experiment. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're starting with foundation on the dry side. I'm just gonna start blending that in. Now it's the foundation. Okay. And now to blend in on the wet side. This is a huge sponge. I will say it does look a little more skinnish on the wet side, which you guys know I prefer, but that's because a wet sponge absorbs more product. So if you are someone like, no, I want my foundation, like you're gonna give me that, then maybe a dry side for you. But let's keep going. We're going in with concealer. Right now, concealer to blend in the dry side. And then concealer on the wet side. See, now I was okay with the wet side for foundation, but when it comes to concealer, I feel like she's not giving me much on my under eye compared to the dry side. I'm gonna move on to powder, set my under eye on my face. Okay, so I'm gonna take the dry side and the wet. See, this is what I can understand what she was saying when she was like, sometimes it makes it a little patchy, but again, that's also why your sponge shouldn't be too wet. I use two powders on my under eye. I almost used the sponge on the other side. All right, again. I just sprayed my face down, so I do go over with the sponge, so I'm just gonna do it at the same time so one doesn't get the chance to dry before I get to the other one, but it's literally just a, you know, quick little pass on my face. And that is it for my face today. Now y'all, I'm not getting up to wet my sponge anytime soon. I'm not switching teams. They almost had me in the first half after I did foundation on the wet side, but then I did concealer and I was like, listen, I'm a lazy people out there who don't like having to get up. You're not missing out on anything, okay? They make it a little too hype on how you have to wet your sponge before you use it. The only real difference I see is that one side's obviously giving you a little bit more, you know, skin-like finish, a little bit more natural finish, and the other side, it's not giving you caked up, but it's easier to tell that I've got makeup on the other side compared to the wet side. It's, you know, a little bit more full coverage, which given what happens with a wet sponge, it makes sense. It was really the concealer for me, and I think it might just be like that specific concealer because it is a pretty lightweight, medium coverage concealer. I almost said foundation. So it's already starting out, you know, like a pretty, like she's pretty tame for a concealer. Then you use a product that's gonna soak up even more of that. It's like, that makes sense why I might not like it for that. But other than that, like I really don't see like that big of a difference between the two. You can be either team. Mind you, I'm team brushes, so like I really don't have much in this fight. But for the few things that I do use a sponge for, like I really don't see it being that big of a deal if you wet your sponge or not. I mean, listen, continue doing it however you want to do it. I'm just saying, I don't see that much of a difference. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I'm just not feeling this side, and really it's just like this section right here, which is probably due to the concealer and, you know, powder with a wet sponge. I'm just not here for it. But because I am more of a brush person, let me know if you'd want another video like this doing, you know, are you supposed to use a brush or a sponge and doing the same thing, seeing how that looks next to each other. Let me know if you want that in the comments down below. Let me know if you are team wet your sponge or it's okay, you can use a dry sponge. Let me know all that down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells, all of that down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.